2025 has been Google's year in AI. Gemini has evolved from a simple chatbot into a full-scale platform for learning, building, researching, and automating tasks. Google Gemini's progress has been absolutely insane. And the best part is that many of its most powerful tools and features are completely free. Today, I'm going to show you the best free Gemini features you can use for learning, productivity, and real work, and how to take full advantage of them. Google Gemini offers a variety of settings that let you customize its personality, control how much it knows about you, and choose which Google services you can access. You can give Gemini custom instructions to tell it how to behave. For example, let's add one instruction to always explain concepts using simple language. Gemini also allows you to activate different apps and use them directly inside a chat. To do this, you first need to make sure that Google Workspace smart features are turned on. This requires permitting Google to use your data to power these smart features. To enable this, open Gmail, go to Settings, and click on See All Settings. Under the General tab, scroll down to Google Workspace Smart Features. Make sure the option is checked, then save your changes. After that, you need to turn on Google Workspace apps inside Gemini so they can be used during conversations. Google has also introduced a new app called SynthID. It's a tool designed to help verify whether images, videos, or other media were created using Google's AI. Once you activate Google Workspace apps, you can start using them directly inside Gemini. All you need to do is type the @ symbol, select the app you want, and then write your prompt. Let's use Google Calendar to create a recurring learning session every Monday over the next 4 weeks. As you can see, Gemini instantly creates the calendar event. When we check the calendar app, the event has been added successfully for all 4 weeks. With Gmail integration, Gemini works like a personal assistant for your inbox. For example, I can ask Gemini to summarize my last 5 emails from the Medium Daily Digest and highlight the key points mentioned in each digest. I get a clear and concise summary. You can also use Gmail integration to find specific details without scrolling, draft emails, or ask questions about your email history with a particular person. Next, let's try Google Drive. I'll ask Gemini to find a specific report in my Google Drive by mentioning its name and then request a summary of that document. As you can see, Gemini quickly finds the file and generates a summary for me. NotebookLM can now be used as a source directly inside Gemini, and this feature was added recently. This means you can import your NotebookLM documents into Gemini and use them as a knowledge base. From there, you can ask questions about your project, generate summaries, create slide decks, infographics, and even build interactive apps using your own content. In a previous video, I showed how to create a NotebookLM project. If you're not familiar with NotebookLM yet, make sure to check out that video first. You can choose the NotebookLM project you want to use, and you can even attach multiple notebooks at the same time. After that, write a prompt. For example, I'll ask Gemini to create a structured comparison table of different large language model architectures. As you can see, Gemini follows the instructions perfectly and generates a detailed comparison table with all the columns I specified in the prompt. You can also export these tables directly into Google Sheets. Now let's create an infographic using the same NotebookLM project. I'll ask Gemini to create a professional infographic explaining the architecture of the GPT model. In the tools icon, just select the option to create an image. Within a few seconds, the infographic is ready. The result looks really good. The architecture is explained clearly and the text is accurate and easy to understand. You can then share or download the infographic. Next, let's try guided learning. Gemini Guided Learning works like a personal AI tutor that helps you master any topic. It's designed to support active learning by guiding step by step, checking understanding, and adapting explanations. It can create quizzes, flashcards, study guides, and fully interactive learning sessions. Let's try it with an example. I'll ask Gemini to teach me how large language models work, starting with a simple overview and then breaking everything down into clear steps. I'll also ask it to include simple analogies and to ask me a follow-up question after each step to check my understanding. In the response, Gemini explains the first step and then asks a question, exactly as requested. After I answer, Gemini confirms that my answer is correct, moves on to the second step, and asks another follow-up question. This makes the learning process feel interactive and personalized. As another example, let's create a quiz. I'll ask Gemini to generate a quiz about how large language models work, including a mix of multiple choice and true or false questions, and to provide a summary with correct answers at the end. After a few moments, the quiz is ready. It includes 10 questions and works just like a NotebookLM quiz. If you get a question wrong, Gemini doesn't just show the correct answer. It explains why using context from your notes. You can also click Show Hint before answering a question. Once you complete the quiz, you can see how many questions you answered correctly and review your overall performance. Gemini also analyzes your results and shows which topics you need to focus on based on your incorrect answers. You can generate more questions, choose whether to focus on all topics or specific growth areas, set the number of questions, and adjust the difficulty level. To keep learning, you can create study guides and flashcards. Let's start with a study guide. Gemini generates a well-structured guide with different topics, key concepts, and a vocabulary list. After creating the study guide, you can turn it into a web page, infographic, quiz, flashcards, or even an audio overview. Now let's create flashcards based on this study guide. The flashcards work the same way they do in NotebookLM. You can flip each card to reveal the answer or definition on the back. In this case, Gemini creates 25 flashcards covering different topics, making it easy to review what I have learned. The next feature we will explore is visual layout. Instead of standard text or plain bullet points, Gemini's visual layout feature presents information in a dynamic magazine-style format using interactive modules, galleries, and widgets. Let's see this feature in action. I want to create an interactive module that allows me to explore exactly how large language models process text. I'll ask Gemini to make each step interactive so I can click to see detailed explanations, diagrams, and examples. I'll also request sliders or toggles. To begin, I simply tap the tools icon and select Visual Layout. After a moment, the interactive response is ready. It organizes the information into clickable tabs and even pulls in high-quality photos relevant to the topic. Gemini has built a complete interactive text processing pipeline where I can click through every stage of the journey. In the third step, there is even a YouTube video embedded directly into the module. I can use the interactive box to refine the results or even add my own custom options to the layout. All the sources used to generate this information are clearly cited at the bottom. Once I click Submit on a new option, Gemini generates a follow-up visual layout based on that selection, and I can click on Suggested Concepts to continue my visual learning journey. Let's try one more example by asking Gemini to create a timeline of LLM evolution. I'll ask for an interactive timeline showing key milestones, major models, and their release dates. Gemini has created a timeline of evolution featuring iconic milestones in AI history. This layout also includes an embedded YouTube video about the history of LLMs and an interactive box to ask further questions. As a visual learner, I find this feature incredibly powerful for both deep research and everyday learning. Next, I will show you one of the most powerful features in Gemini Canvas. Gemini Canvas is an interactive workspace where you can generate code for web apps, create and edit documents, and turn those documents into infographics, quizzes, flashcards, audio overviews, or even full presentations. On the free version, you can create up to 50 chat queries and 100 visual outputs per day, which is more than enough for most learning and work projects. Now let's look at a real example. I found the future of jobs report from the World Economic Forum, and I want to use it as a source. I've already prepared my prompt. I want to create an interactive HTML dashboard that summarizes the key findings from this report, using a dark blue color scheme across the entire dashboard. Tap on the tools icon and select Canvas. Gemini starts generating the code. After about a minute, the dashboard is ready. The result looks really good. All the sections I asked for are included. It highlights the main numbers: skills transformation, core skills, and fastest growing skills. It also includes 5 major macro trends, the top growing and declining roles, and clear workforce transformation strategies. There's also a very interesting feature called Add Gemini Features, so let's try it out. Gemini automatically adds 2 new features to the side panel of the dashboard: an AI Career Advisor and an Executive Briefing. Let's test the AI Career Advisor. I enter the role of a data scientist, and Gemini responds by showing that the risk level is low. It also lists the key skills to learn and suggests adjacent growth roles. Another powerful capability is that you can select any part of the dashboard and ask questions about it. For example, select the section with the 5 macro trends and ask Gemini to explain them in more detail. In the chat, Gemini provides a deeper and clearer explanation of each trend. You can also share the dashboard with others, making it easy to collaborate or present your work. Now let's try to create a presentation based on the same report. I want Gemini to summarize the key findings, all supported with charts and graphs and styled with a dark blue theme. After about a minute, the presentation is ready. It looks clean, professional, and clearly highlights the most important insights from the report. All the key findings are included and well structured. You can also export this presentation directly to Google Slides, where you can further customize the content. The Canvas feature is incredibly powerful for work projects, learning, and research, especially considering that all of these capabilities are available in the free version of Gemini. Next, let's talk about deep research. Gemini Deep Research is a powerful AI research assistant that can automatically analyze hundreds of sources to generate detailed reports on almost any topic, including complex subjects like large language models. Free users get limited access to deep research, usually a few queries per month, but even that is enough to create high-quality research. I've already prepared a prompt to generate a research report on large language models. The goal is to create an academic-style report with clear sections, in-depth analysis, and proper citations. To start, I tap on the Tools icon and select Deep Research. When using deep research, you can also add extra sources like Gmail, Google Drive, chat history, or even upload files. For this example, I'm only using a web search. Gemini first shows a research plan outlining how it will approach the topic. I simply click Start Research. It autonomously browses the web, opens multiple tabs, and reads through a wide range of sources to find relevant and up-to-date information. After a few minutes, the report is ready. I can export it directly to Google Docs. The report looks very professional, with a clear structure, well-defined sections, tables for comparison, and detailed explanations. At the end of the document, there's a full list of citations showing all the sources Gemini used for the research. Now let's go back to Gemini. Based on this research report, you can instantly create other formats like web pages, infographics, quizzes, flashcards, or even an audio overview. Let's try creating an audio overview. Gemini generates a script and produces an audio player. After waiting about 3 minutes, the audio is ready.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into the engine room of large language models.
Yep.
Our mission is to give you a quick, clear look at the two forces really driving LLM performance now.
First is the architecture itself, and second is the really complex training that makes them safe and useful.
Two AI hosts discuss the findings of the research in a natural, conversational way, making the content easy to follow. You can listen to the audio directly or download and share it. The last feature I want to talk about is Gemini Gems. Gemini Gems let you turn Gemini into saved, custom AI experts for your recurring tasks, projects, and learning goals. Each gem is a customized version of Gemini with a fixed persona, clear goals, and specific rules that you define once and then reuse anytime. There are 8 pre-made gems, including a career guide, coding partner, learning coach, and writing editor. Let's try the career gem. I will copy a pre-made gem and rename it. You can also modify the instructions to better suit your needs. You can also enable the same default tools available in a standard Gemini chat and upload your own knowledge sources to give the gem more context. For now, I leave everything as the default and save the gem. I want to ask the career coach how I can find my first remote job as a data scientist. Career coach responds with a strategic learning plan and asks me a follow-up question. The plan aligns with my goals. The career coach suggests specific job platforms where I can apply and continues asking questions. As you can see, it behaves like a real coach, asking questions, adapting to your responses, and guiding you step by step. Now let's create a gem from scratch. I want to build a custom tutor for learning. I've already prepared a detailed prompt and I use Gemini to rewrite and refine the instructions so they're clearer and more effective. As the main tool, I chose guided learning and then saved the gem. To start using it, simply enter the topic you want to learn. I will write large language models. Just as defined in the instructions, the tutor breaks the explanation down into clear steps. After each step, it asks an interactive question that I need to answer before moving on. Gemini Gems are incredibly powerful for handling repetitive tasks, allowing you to reuse the same instructions without starting from scratch each time. As you can see, even with a free account, you get access to an incredible number of features. You can use Gemini for work, studying, research, or even just for fun. You don't need a paid subscription to start automating parts of your life or mastering complex topics. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these features did you find the most useful? Let me know in the comments.